If your brand is doing $10 million a year, but 90% of your growth is coming from meta ads, you don't own a business, you own an ad account. You're on a treadmill that gets more and more expensive every single month. We recently took a global brand, Cadenshae, and moved them to a model where 46% of their total revenue comes from email and SMS. That is profit that you don't have to pay Zuck for. Here's how we built that engine. Most founders think that the answer is just better creatives or more spend. But honestly, most of you are sitting on an absolute gold mine that you're just ignoring. You're paying for all this traffic, you're working so hard to acquire these customers, but you're letting the actual profits leak out of the bottom of the bucket because you're not leveraging your owned channels. We worked with a brand called Cadenshae in the maternity activewear space. When they first started working with us, they were a successful multinational business, but their growth has plateaued. They're doing the work, but their backend wasn't working for them. By the time we fixed it, 46% of their total revenue was coming from their emails and SMS. That is profit that they don't have to pay Mark Zuckerberg for. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how we turned their fragmented global presence into a predictable revenue machine. Let's look at a real-world scenario that I see constantly with brands at the 10 mil plus mark. You launch a huge new collection, you've spent months on product development and thousands in content, you send out an email to your whole list expecting a massive surge in sales. But instead, you get a whisper. You check the numbers and you see your open rates are tanking. You think it's subject line or maybe the vibes of the creatives are off. No, it's usually neither. It's your domain reputation. Cadenshae had the exact same issue. Their reputation was sitting at a low to medium across the board. Now in plain English, Gmail and Outlook just didn't trust them. Their emails weren't even hitting the inbox. This is the silent killer. If you're not landing in the inbox, your most expensive asset, your customer list, is basically a ghost town. You're essentially shouting into a void while your competitors take your spot at the top of the folder. To fix this, we followed a 3-step process that any founder can use to reclaim their list. Step 1 was the Deliverability Reset. We didn't just start blasting more emails to try and force more sales or force more emails into inboxes. In fact, we did the complete opposite. We sent less. When we saw their reputation dropping, we limited their campaigns to only the people who had actually engaged with them recently. It feels kind of counterintuitive to shrink your audience when you're trying to grow, but it is the only way to prove to Google that you are not a spammer. It's about quality over quantity, and it worked. We got them to an 87 deliverability score on Klaviyo, and we moved all of their global regions to a high reputation rating across the board. Step 2 was cleaning up the Frankenstein flows. Most brands at this scale have automated flows and emails that were set up years ago that don't match the current brand, voice, or strategy. They're kind of just there. We revamped everything. We made branding consistent from New Zealand all the way to North America. We stopped guessing what people wanted and started highlighting their actual best sellers with conversion-focused messaging. We didn't just make them look pretty, we made them work. This alone led to a 12.3% increase in flow revenue per recipient. Step 3 was finding the untapped money through strategic expansion. In Australia, Cadenshae had a massive list, but they weren't using SMS at all. That's literally leaving money on the table. We launched targeted SMS flows specifically for the Aussie market. We didn't just use them as a broadcast tool to scream sale. We made it feel like a personal, timely conversation that worked alongside their emails. This unlocked a brand new revenue stream that they just didn't have before, engaging customers in a much more direct way. So here's the reality. When you own your audience, you own your margins. You're not just renting customers anymore. You're building an asset that pays you back every single day. By fixing these foundational pieces, Cadenshae didn't just see a tiny bump. They saw a 54.6% surge in unique openers in New Zealand. They saw a 13% increase in average order value, and they saw their owned revenue share of total business revenue hitting 50% in their home market. When your backend is optimized, every dollar that you're spending on top of funnel ads becomes twice as valuable because you actually have a system to retain those people and increase your lifetime value. That is the difference between a brand that is at the mercy of an algorithm and a brand that has predictable scalability and engine. If you're a founder and you're tired of the hollow scale trap, it's time to stop ignoring the gold mine you're already sitting on. You don't always need more traffic. You usually just need to do a better job with the customers you've already paid for to acquire. There are 2 ways we can help you today. First, if you want to fast track, if you want to explore the potential sitting in your own channels right now, book a free strategy session with us. We'll look into your setup, find the gaps, and show you exactly where the hidden revenue is. The link is in the description down below or in my bio. Second, for the long game, scan a QR code on your screen right now. That's going to take you to our weekly newsletter where you get insights, tips, and hacks that fast-growing brands are using to stay ahead of the curve. Stop leaving 40% of your revenue on the table. Let's go get it.